Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Melina, and today we're going to go over our November TBR list. So let's jump into it. First, I'm going to start with the book that I thought I was going to finish in October, but I didn't. So we are going to finish Divine Rivals. I did start it in October, so I don't have that much more to go. But my goal is to finish it and maybe start the second one, but I'm not going to add that one to the list. I'm going to just finish Divine Rivals. I'm a little too lazy to go and grab it, but I also want to put a bigger dent into A Little Life. I didn't get that much further than September because I was really focusing on Kingdom of Ash, which I did finish. And so my goal is to put another 100-page dent into A Little Life. So that is a goal of mine, and that's just going to be a running book. I'm just going to slowly get through it because it is a little bit on the heavier side, and I don't really want to put myself in like a sad state. I'd rather add some fluff and fun into the mix as well. This is a book in a series that I've not continued for many months, and that is Magnolia Park's A Long Way Home. I loved the first one, and I really loved Daisy Hates, and this book, I binged both of them when I've actually sat down and read it, and this one is going to be no different. I am obsessed with Magnolia and BJ. They are toxic. They are both really selfish, heady individuals, and somehow I just can't stop reading about them and the group and their perspectives and just all of it. It's so good. This universe is perfect. It's not for everyone, but if you are a lover of Chuck and Blair from Gossip Girl, or I can't even think of another couple that I would compare them to. They are the British Chuck and Blair. Toxic, and at times they're not even good for each other, but you just want them to be together so badly, and that is this. So if you like Gossip Girl, the OG, with Chuck and Blair, you will love this series. Obviously start with the first one, the regular Magnolia Parks. And my goal is to finish this one this month. In terms of thrillers, I want to start this. It is The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden. It is the second book in the Housemaid trilogy. I got this book at a really good price at Target, and I've heard it's okay, but Frida McFadden, I think I've said this before, she is the Colleen Hoover of thriller. It's just really easy to get through, short chapters, addicting little, not plot twists, but cliffhangers at the end of every chapter that just makes you want to keep reading more. And I feel like this is going to be a good palate cleanser in between so far what I've mentioned and what I'm going to continue. So this is on my list. You may have not noticed this, but I have been really trying to get through my physical TBR. I just have so many books that I've bought and have not made a dent in, and so I have not been reading that many Kindle books unless it's on Kindle Unlimited or it's an ARC that I received. I've been really trying to stick to my physical TBR. So I know in my video the books that I want to finish before 2024, I have Beartown and the Addicted series, and I have them on Kindle, but I am not committing to finishing them until I get through a few more books on my list, especially some of the physical books that I do have on that list. So, which hence Magnolia Park's Divine Rivals. So we will see. I'm gonna show you what else I have though. I just wanted to make a quick point as to why these physical book piles have been bigger than in past months. It's because I've really been focusing on trying to finish all of these physical books before hopping into adding Kindle books. As a light palette cleanser, since I am seeing Taylor Swift, well, for me it's this week. I'm gonna see her on November 1st. I wanted to read The Breakup Tour, which is supposed to be a Taylor Swift inspired romance. It's by Emily Wimberly and Sigmund Broca. Sorry, I said it in reverse. I really like them as a author duo. They wrote The Roughest Draft, or The Rough Draft. I don't remember what it's called. I'll put a picture here. I do have a physical copy, but I'm too lazy to grab it. I love that story, and I do like most of their YA books, so I feel like this is going to be a fun one, especially inspired by an artist I'm going to go and see this year. It's pretty, not this year, this week. Very cool. So hopefully I'll get to it. It seems really small, and so a nice fun quick read. I have heard mixed reviews on this book, The God of the Woods. Most of my friends have really liked this. I have read to go into it thinking it's more of a mystery versus a thriller, and so I think that's a really helpful mindset to go into it, because I feel like a thriller is supposed to be a little faster paced, while a mystery could have that slow burn aspect to it, and I feel like that is going to give this. It's supposed to be a child abduction book, I believe. Yeah, a teenager goes missing from a summer camp, and it seems like, so it's a missing girls case in a summer camp in the woods. So it's pretty fun. I actually really like books like this. I am a lover of mystery and thriller alike, but I'm excited, and I've had friends who really have enjoyed this one. I also think the cover is like really beautiful. I got this one from Book of the Month, hence the pink fit, but very cool, very cool. Very excited to read this one. Now, my friend Megan has sworn that this duology is amazing, and I was in the mood to add a fantasy book into the mix because of the fact that I finished Kingdom of Ash and I don't know really what to do with my life anymore. I feel like my life will never be the same knowing what I know about how the series ends, and it's just so good. I have thought about it every single day since finishing it, and it's only been a week for me, but I thought about it a lot. And I will give you my final review once I do my wrap up, which should be any day now. I might actually do a double recording and record them both back to back. And that is One Dark Window. It was on my list of books to finish or start before the end of the year, and I'm just so excited to start this one. I think it's going to be so good. She said the magic aspect of this is really unique and just quick paced and everything, and these covers are really interesting. It gives me really like dark vibes and a dark fantasy. At least this is what I'm guessing it is. Sounds so fun. And duologies are very cool. Like I think of Six of Crows, I think of, Divine Rivals, which I have started and I really have enjoyed. And so I hope this one is just as good, maybe even better. So I'm excited. And finally, I am so excited to talk about this book because my friend Marie published it, and Marie is a close book blogger friend of mine that I've known since I started my blog in 2016, and the fact that she has published a book is so exciting. She has been talking about publishing a book or a work in progress that she's written for many years now, so not only to have been able to receive an ARC, but to also receive a hard copy of one of my friend's books is just it's really beautiful. I'm so happy for her. It is Us Against the Likes. It is a sister love, self-discovery, older YA, thinking like maybe college age fiction, and I am so excited. I know it's going to be amazing, and of course I'm going to read this one this month for sure. High hopes. And congrats Marie for publishing your first book. Gonna be the first, not the last. I know that for a fact. Now, in terms of ebooks, I'm gonna put The Cost of Forgetting You back on my list. I didn't get a chance to read it this month, and I know I really want to, so I'm gonna put The Cost of Forgetting You back on my list. The final book I'm gonna put on my TBR is The Co-op by Tara DeWitt. I don't know if it's in the same universe as Savor It, but I loved Savor It. I got an ARC of that one, and I thought it was just the perfect slow burn with self-discovery and grief, and it's not for everyone. I think it's for those slow burn lovers, which is me. I think, yeah, I feel like she's just grown in her writing so much. I read Savor and then I went back to read Funny Feelings, and I didn't love Funny Feelings. While there was a lot of really beautiful aspects about the book itself and what it was about, I felt like something was lacking, especially in the relationship aspect. I just didn't really buy into it. It just felt a little too surface level for my liking, even with the flashbacks of like explaining how they met and how their friendship had grown. I still did not feel, not the word convinced, but I didn't feel into their relationship. I just wasn't invested. And so I think because I love Savor, I think the co-op will be really good. I think this is a re-release because I do remember seeing an older cover version of these, but the new ones are so stunning, and I think it's going to be a good one. I do. If I have time for one more book, I am going to try to read this one. I don't really have any expectations going into it, and I already have so many books on my list, but if I get to it, I will. I don't really know what it's about, so I can't tell you much, but you'll just have to wait and see if I read it and my thoughts about it after the fact. So these are the books I'm planning to read in November. I've done a really good job keeping to my TBR, and not only reading on my TBR, but also reading a few extra usually. So I'm excited. I have some thrillers, I have romance, I have just regular standard fiction, and I even have some fantasy. I think it's a really good diverse mix, and when I read diversely I tend to avoid reading slumps, so I think this is a good way to keep from staying strong on my reading goal. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I am so far into my reading goal. I always make my goal 85 books a year to not put pressure on myself, and I believe I'm at 135, and so there is no pressure. I'm just reading what I want when I want, and that's really, it's nice. Well, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions of what you want to see from me in the future, maybe certain recommendations or anything like that, please let me know. I just love sitting down and just chatting books with you all, and so it's very cool if you stick around and, you know, have a chat with me. Until next time, guys, I'll see you. Bye.